Like, I hate wasted potential. That shit crushes your spirit. It really does. It crushes your soul.
Hey guys, so welcome to What Is It Like? I'm Jonathan Tarian. This is my S15 Sylvia drift car right behind me. And this is a new series I'm starting about what is it like? What is it like to be a grassroots drifter? For me, grassroots drifting is kind of my everything. It's what motivates me in life and what, keeps me pumped about like my life and keeps me pumped about things to do and like ways to push myself. I've always needed creative outlets in my life, and this is one of them as well. Filming this video is along with drifting. Drifting to me is a creative outsource and just a way to have fun also. But What Is It Like is gonna turn into a series. It's gonna be a series about what is it like and what is it like for things for me that I enjoy that keep me motivated, or things that are really cool that I think are really interesting from the outside looking in, and to kind of unravel what that is in the background and what it is sometimes, for example, in drifting, what it takes to just get to the start line. And also for what it just does for people, what it gives people this purpose, this intention, this drive to continue. We're gonna get into more about what grassroots drifting means to me later, but first we're gonna talk to a couple people that are in the community local to me and that are longtime grassroots drifters and drifters in general. And we're gonna see what motivates them and what keeps them going.
I'm Paul Gracie with 881 Crew Motorsports. I've been drifting for about 3 seasons now. This was my 3rd season, my first season in Pro-Am. I drive an LS swapped E46 sedan. And to me, drifting is almost a way of life now. It's pretty much a lifestyle. It's where I've met majority of my friends that I'm now extremely close with, and meeting more people every season. Getting into drifting and meeting more and more people at the track, there was no fear of talking to anybody. Everybody that you went up to was very open, would give you the guidance and give you some tips and setup tips for everything you need to know. So to me, that's why I stick with drifting, is the community and just the fun in general. It's a very adrenaline-filled ride, and I love it.
Josh, and I beat her for casting couch, take 1.
Oh, that look actually good on the camera.
Hey guys, it's Josh with 881 Crew Motorsports. I've been drifting for roughly 2.5 years now. I drive all the blue E46s with 881 Crew. Drifting is a massive community, and it was the most opening community compared to every other community that I've been part of. The style was mostly the biggest thing for me, and I just loved it. Coming into it, everyone was so open. I met some amazing people through drifting. My roommate, Paul, Jonathan, one of my biggest friends out here, Evan. Drifting it's such an open community. You come into it, everyone has open arms, everyone's willing to teach you. There's no wrong questions to ask between pro drivers, grassroots drivers. No question's a dumb question. Everyone's willing to help you with setup, pretty well, yeah, really anything with cars. And it's such an easy sport to get into. You can buy a $500 beater, weld the diff, and just go hit a track, and no one's gonna shame you for it. It's honestly just one of the best sports out there in motorsports.
Hey guys, this is Ophir Braun. I'm one of the drivers for 881 Crew, and drifting is very important to me. It's a big part of my life. I've started drifting about 7 years ago, and competitively for 4 years. Drifting is so crucial to us and myself because it's such a community that lets everybody come in. You can do it at any budget. It's very welcoming and you can get started from nothing. You just buy a crappy car, weld a diff, and go have fun with your boys. So I think drifting is one of those motorsports that let people just come into it with no experience and be able to party at any level. And it's just very welcoming. So yeah, drifting is awesome.
So now after hearing what people have to say, there's two big things that people keep saying about drifting: the style and the community. I think those are the two biggest contributing factors. Especially for me, I love old D1 cars, old like 2000s liveries. It's the coolest looking thing ever. And I think the community is such a big one because like, you don't see it in many other motorsports where people are willing to, hey, I have spare parts and your car is broken, take them. It's not only like, oh, I'll sell them to you. No, take them. You'll see people break a control arm or break a tie rod or something and people just give them away. Like that's what you love to see in drifting, is people just want to see people get back on track. And same thing, like I've personally offered people tires because, oh, they're gonna get knocked out of a comp or they're out of tires, they still gotta drive. Like, take my pair. Like, you hate to see people go out and get knocked out by something stupid like, oh, I bent a tie rod, or oh, I'm out of tires. Like, nah, screw that, you know? And I think to all the people we just talked to, they can attest to that. It's like, it's a universal thing in drifting wherever you are in the world. We're in Northern Canada, but I'm sure if you went to somewhere in Japan, it's the same thing. You know, it's just the culture of drifting, which is why all of us are addicted and we love it. But honestly, I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't tell you that drifting has some of the highest of highs, but it really has some of the lowest of lows too. People spend weeks, months, even years building cars, and weeks, months, and years worth of money building cars too, just for your first time driving it, for something catastrophically to go wrong. Why would people keep spending so much money and time and sacrificing so much just to still make it happen? That to me is such a testament of what drifting is to people. It's a beacon to continue trying and to not stop, to not quit. And I think that's why it's so loved by many. And I also think that's why there's no freaking money in drifting, because all of us are broke. We're all building stupid stuff like this. But as I said about the lowest lows, the highest of highs, it makes you feel like you can do anything. It is such a good feeling when you have an awesome drift day and you come home, the car's still good, and you drove awesome. It's just like, that is what you chase after every single time, and it's an eternal chase of that feeling. And that's why I think so many people you see have been drifting for so long and they're so committed to it that it's like a lifestyle to them, because you're chasing that feeling. Sounds like I'm talking about drugs, dude. Sounds like I'm talking about drug addiction. Oh my God. But one thing we can all relate to, whether you're the proest of pro or your first time ever driving on a skid pad, we all had that feeling, whether you watched drifting or you got a ride along for the first time or experienced an event for the first time. You knew you had to get into this.
Okay, so little sidebar here. This is a very cringe moment, but this was my moment when I knew I needed to get into drifting, and I accept it because it's me, but it is cringy. But I'm very lucky that I got to record this, and looking back, it's pretty special.
I'm your tandem, holy shit!
Every one of us have had that feeling, whether it was last week or 20 years ago. It's what keeps people so invested and in love with the sport. It's just the want to be part of this community and the want to build your car to be representing yourself and to represent your style. That's the magic of drifting. Well, now that you know what drifting's like on paper and what it means to us grassroots drivers, how about I show you what it really looks like and what it feels like.
stopped out a little less.
This is a great fucking shot.
This is a great spot.
This is a great spot.
Something fell off his car. Oh. Dude, look, there's bark in the gas can. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, man. I remember when you blew that up.
That was my first time. Oh, well, that was my first time ever sending it as hard as I did.
That was your first massive break, I think, too, in this car, was the clutch fan going and the rad going, too.
Yeah, that was that's what makes drifting fun. Like, everyone's there. Like, everyone stayed with me till, like, fucking...
Yeah, dude, we were there till late, man. I had work the next day. I think I was there till, like, fucking, what was it, 1 in the morning?
I think it got picked up at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, it was late, man.
And then Nikolai came over and was like, oh, this is what broke. I was like, oh, fuck.
As I was saying earlier, I'm so proud of my friends. Look at them. Look at Joe go. It is crazy. It's like I'm falling behind. These guys all have their really cool cars. Girlfriends, money. I'm in school, so I don't have any of that. That's crazy. Anyway, he left. So, when you hear this, Joe, just know I'm proud of you. And especially you too, Cody. Both of y'all. You guys are doing crazy.
Well, after that, I hope I converted a couple of you guys to the Church of Drifting, or at least inspired you to go to a drift event, or maybe buy a drift car, or create something like this. Something for the community, to people to come around and get hyped on drifting about. That's what it's all about. Drifting is such a growing community, and it has gotten so big in the past couple of years, and I'm so excited to see, even in 5 years' time, where it's gonna be, because I still think drifting has so much potential and it still can grow to this humongous motorsport. But while it's growing, you don't want to forget about the roots. You don't want to forget about those guys at the bottom that are grinding out and using all their paycheck to go to a drift event and make ends meet by sacrificing so much stuff. That's the amazing part. That's what drifting is so special and has such a magic to it. Thank you guys so much for everybody who watched the video all the way to this part. I really appreciate you. If you would even just consider dropping a like or maybe even subscribing, it would mean the world to me. I put a lot of time and effort into this video and I hope that it shows. But either way, this has been What Is It Like to Be a Grassroots Drifter. We'll see you in the next one.